we have a special coffee sponsor today. Rupert, what was I going to say? Rupert said that these people saved his life, so and they provided the coffee this week. So, Rupert, tell us about Fort Union Military Academy.
So, Fort Union Military Academy is based in Fort Union, Virginia. So it's a little town in between Richmond and, it's like a triangle between Richmond and Charlottesville. And they had to widen the road to put the double yellow line through it, and so it was started in 1858, and they have a 100% college placement rate. Wow. And 48% of their students are people of color, and 74% receive their students receive financial aid. And another tidbit is, aside from the fact that it's all about body, mind, and spirit, they have 2 Heisman Trophy winners from that school, and they supply about 40% of the NFL players. Nearly 500 NFL players have been from that school, whereas the next highest prep school or high school in the country is like less than.
I think a school that's so good at high school basketball.
Yes. Yeah. So our high school team plays University of Virginia, Georgia Tech, et cetera, et cetera. We compete against them. So, but in any case, it's a great school. I wouldn't be the person I am without it. It is all about body, mind, and spirit, but it's not an indoctrination of any way, shape, form, or fashion. It's all the stuff about it, and they really teach people how to think. And to think for themselves and be creative and so forth. So I told them about 1 million cups because I'm a close friend with the colonel who's running things right now, and him and his staff were so deeply moved about my story about 1 million cups and what we do. They sent me this coffee, and they said, just tell them next time coffee's on us. So I said, great. So I got some coffee from Peter, and I'm sending it back to them saying, you're welcome. All right. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you. Oh, we said thank you for the coffee.
Absolutely.
If you have not presented yet, or if you presented more than 6 months ago, you can present again. Just go to 1millioncups.com/Orlando, and you can apply to present. And if you want, you can also present via Zoom. We have a lot of people calling in on Zoom to present. But that also means that you can go to other time zones. Since we start at 9 o'clock in our time zone, so does every other time zone. So you can bounce from meeting to meeting to meeting. Josh has done 3. I'm still hoping somebody can do 4 or even 5 and go to either Alaska or Hawaii. Haven't had that happen yet, but I'm hoping somebody can do that, but that is possible. So you can present in more than one place, not just Orlando or driving to Daytona and driving to Tampa and to St. Pete. So keep that in mind. We are doing an attendance survey. So if you have not taken it yet, just scan the QR code with your phone really quick. And it's a 5-question survey, should take you about 30 seconds, maybe 60, if you read carefully. Just scan it and then you can take the survey, and we would greatly appreciate that. There's not.
Oh, I guess we got to start one up.
We've got to start one. I'm moving. Quick reminder, check in on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at 1millioncups.orl, and then invite your friends. Entrepreneurs know other entrepreneurs, and so we could double the size of this room if we just each invited one person. I brought Rupert. So, yes.
That's the QR is taken to the spreadsheet again, right?
Oh, no kidding. Is it, wait,
To the spreadsheet.
Google Docs.
Sheets.
Yeah.
Yeah, attendance.
no kidding.
No worries.
That's why we.
So I will fix that next week. Or by next week. So now let's hear from Rachel Ray about Get Rachel Ray.
Share the screen, please.
Gotta share it and then.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Sharon. You're right.
Right now.
Can y'all see it?
What? I just did that.
Making a co-host?
Yep. Oh, I made stop the co-host, which I should have done anyway.
Dun, dun, dun.
Here we go.
You guys see that on Zoom?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, we can.
Maybe we should hide this stuff. no?
Awesome.
Just click.
Just click that.
It'll go away in a second.
Again, you're getting Rachel Ray. I'm helping you. No, what? Go back.
You got to hit do the more and hide floating
More.
controls.
Yeah, that's my way.
Scott, you can edit all this out, right?
Hide from- Oh, there we go. Yay!
This is real, man.
You guys, you are amazing and beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Pat yourself on the back. Thank you for our virtual audience for being here. You are gonna remember this day. What is today? Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. You're gonna say it's the day I met Rachel Ray. The day it all got started, right? No, I've been listening to beautiful people before.
I'll do that.
There we go. There you go, re-hide it. All right, so, yeah, okay. Are we ready? Hey, so I have the number one product, the number one service in the world.
Great.
You sure? I mean, seriously, do you believe me?
Wow.
You lying? I do, I have the number one product and service in the world. Can anyone guess what it is?
It's you.
Helping people.
Manifesting, huh? Rupert, you know me already. You are the number one product, you are the number one service. If you haven't figured that out yet, someone's telling you a lie. And you're believing it. Why? Why do you think anyone other than you is the most important thing in the world? Because that's no, but actually science, technology, biology, everything proves it. Everything proves that you are the number one in the universe. Each and every one of you. You still don't believe me, huh? Man, I gotta convince this room. So we're gonna go into Einstein's theory of relativity. Are you ready? No,
Don't bring my relatives into this.
I mentioned Einstein because, you know, again, I'm gonna make this as simple as possible, even though it's very complicated. And again, I'm gonna make sure universally, you all understand me. You know what? You don't want me to
You don't
be
have to worry
great.
about it.
I wanted to hide you. All right. So you. I mean, can you describe you? Do any of these words describe you? Someone give me 2 or 3 other words that describe you. Anything
Driven.
that describes you.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, people. This is you. I'm asking you about you. What? Your passion? You? I don't know. Pretty maybe. Your goals, your dreams. I don't know. We can break it down to the cells, the particles that make up you. Think about it. I can probably put any word in the English language on this screen, and it would represent you. I can put family up there. I can put love, connection, relationship. I mean, give me a word that is not you. Let's try that. Since every word is you. You know what? I don't know about you, but I'm slim. Don't look at the outside. It's in my mind. And that's manifesting. You got to understand that you are all those things, and you are everything that you want to be. Uni. Anyone tell me why uni equals 1? Does anyone know what uni is? No?
Everything?
Universe.
Everything?
But no one understands this. Go back to I don't know, middle school. Uni. Who taught you that uni is 1? 1? And how do you know it's 1?
Multiple of 1 is 1.
1 is 1. Some of you may have taken Latin. Some of you may have learned the prefixes and suffixes. I told you I'm making it simple. You guys are thinking this is super complex. So when you study prefixes and suffixes, and some of you either learning English or better learning English, for those of you who have English as a second or third or fourth language, you know, you have to understand that we have a lot of these prefixes and suffixes in our language, and they're based in what, like Latin, Greek, something, you know, long time ago or whatever. But uni represents 1, like the universe or universal, right? So one of my favorite artists has a song. And you know, life is just giving us clues everywhere. We're just oblivious to it. You are everything. Everything is you. You are everything. Y'all like, I don't know that song. But she wrote that song. I'm serious. She literally wrote that song, and she said it over and over and over again. And it's a clue. She's trying to tell you something. She's trying to let you know that you matter. And you matter. You are made up of matter, and you matter. That is the English language. English has all these synonyms and all these multiple meanings, and sometimes the word means an adjective and it means a noun, and you know, you have right and you have right and you have right. Right? The young lady who was here last week, when I heard her say right, I thought, oh, right. No, it's W-R-I-T. Okay, like, so how does this go again to you being everything and everything being you, and you being the best product or service in the world? Like you mentioned a moment ago, right? 1 is 1 is 1. And if we are a part of the universe and we are 1, therefore, I mean, what does that mean? You go deep?
That means any number is 1.
But 1 is 1, and we're part of the universe, and we're everything, and everything is us.
We're all connected.
And we don't recognize how connected we are. But some people all came in this morning different from other Wednesdays, and you were wondering why. And that's because you tapped into my universe. See, either you create your universe, or those around you create the universe for you. See, you either give in to your thoughts, desires, your vision for yourself and your life, or you give in to Google or Rupert or 1 million cups. No, you give in to the individuals, the corporations, the societies, the institutions around us, because we were told they're valuable. And somewhere deep down inside, or somewhere long ago in your journey, you were told you weren't valuable, or you were stupid, or dumb, or something to that effect. And somewhere in your subconscious mind, deep down, somewhere it got embedded into your DNA or into your matter. Somehow it became, you make a mistake, man, I'm so dumb. You know, or you, I don't know, you push someone, and that's because you like them, but they didn't know you liked them, and you pushed them, and they went, ow, and that hurts. And so you're like, And so in life, we were taught by well-meaning parental units, some of us moms and dads, some of us grandparents, or other relatives that had to take us over, right? Some of us were born in some traumatic situations. Some of us had the best life growing up. But in spite of all of that, someone somewhere bought into the pattern that we weren't amazing and beautiful, that we aren't the best thing in the universe. We treat our dogs better than we treat ourselves. We value a car over the person who made it. Or like Google. You need your sustenance. We want food. But you, the one who's serving me food, ain't as valuable as this food. Come on. Why are you letting other or those outside of you dictate your value? That's just because we've been taught that. We've been trained that way. Unfortunately, I feel like society has made sure the powers that be who understand the universe and understand who they are, they're like, we're going to set up these systems. We'll be able to divide and conquer you. And that's what they've done. And some of these things were put in motion many of hundreds or even thousands of years ago. And so how do you undo that mess? January 6th, they tried to do it. You know, Black Lives Matter tried to do it. Everyone's trying to do it in their own independent way. But the reality of life is you are everything and everything is you. The moment you care for yourself at a greater level, you will then be able to take care of the world. So that's what you get when you get Rachel Ray. Go on, you ready? We talked about Einstein's theory of relativity. You ready to go down the black hole? No, it's fine. I'm gonna write a dissertation on it. I'm looking for my institution who will fund my research, and we're gonna actually answer all the hidden secrets of the universe. I didn't know y'all was gonna get this deep today. You're getting Rachel Ray. Like, what is she gonna tell me? I'm telling you that you are everything and everything is you. You are deserving of your thoughts, your great thoughts and dreams and vision for yourself. And that should be manifesting in your life now. If it's not, that's because someone else's thoughts, vision, and dreams for themselves in their life, you have taken upon as your own. You have the ability to now change that, make you the focus. Now, not to the level of narcissism. We don't want to go that far, but if you look at babies, we're all born narcissists. And babies don't care if you're tired, they're hungry, they're gonna let you know. Until they're feeling safe and secure and comfortable. Until then, they're gonna disrupt your universe. And what do us good parents do? Those of us who have children in the room, right? And babies, what do? You let them sleep? You know, you're mad. But you realize and you recognize the embryonic state or the helpless state of that being until that being then grows to the point of they being able to handle the avatar. Little by little, you're supposed to back it up and let them grow and then help when needed. And no one taught us this. They're not teaching it. I'm telling you stuff they're not teaching. I'm literally telling you something that I experienced on my own as being a parent. And analyzing how my parents did me and talking to friends and family and seeing how their parents did them and asking myself, why? Like, why do we do this? Because we don't know that. So the moment that you make you the most important thing in your life, everything else will align with that. So we don't have to talk about this because I think I'm over time. Do y'all want me to keep going? Because this is Manifestation 101. Do I have a consensus?
Yeah, keep going.
Sure?
Do we have another speaker?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. So what is relationship with self even mean? Making yourself a priority in one's own life while keeping others in perspective. So it's a collaboration. It's I'm gonna feed you, child, and not strangle you. Because I want to strangle you. And how many moms have felt that? It's like, oh God, somebody get this baby. I need to feed the baby, but I'm tired. I'm hungry. I need a shower. So there's a battle, but you understand the simplicity of that child. You understand their needs, and you just feed them. You know, my last child I breastfed for a full year. And it was time for him to come off. He didn't want to come. Come off of me, you are no longer me and I am no longer you, but we are still each other, right? It's that understanding of that. So in Manifestation 101, I like to start with these areas. And I came up with this because as I've parented my 4 children, I recognize that if it's in a different order, it kind of doesn't jive. Like I could try to do love first, and I do a lot of what I do is love, but when he smacks me, I'm just being nice, you know, or if he pulls my glasses off, or you know, he does all these mean, I'm like, wait a minute, I need you to be disciplined. Again, what is discipline? You know, English language, discipline has various meanings, right? Discipline is a subject area, discipline, you know, you look at the Bible, disciples, all this ties in. The disciples were what? Followers of, you instill discipline in your children, they are followers of who?
You.
Right? You want them to follow you, they don't follow you, you're like, what are you doing? Don't, you know, you're like, follow me, do this. What if you're doing something bad? You're still saying, follow me, do this. And it's not until others say, wait a minute, don't do that, that you learn. That's how you learn, you know? So with self-discipline coming first, then comes self-respect. Because again, if you respect yourself, it's easy to respect others. Respect, discipline, and then love. I think we kind of all know what love is, but then again, people define it differently. So I'm going to talk about it in regards of you, just you. You define it, you're going to be defining it for yourself. And once you have self-discipline, self-respect, and self-love, you now gain self-mastery. So this is the boring part of the presentation. You look up discipline. The practice of training people to obey rules or code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. Disobedience, again, one of those prefixes. You're not with obedience, therefore you're disobedient, right? So if you think about you versus your children for the moment, if you think about you versus your spouse for the moment or significant other, if you think about you versus your boss or your clients, or just think about you for a moment. You need to train yourself. You need to give yourself rules of conduct and code of behavior. And you might need to punish yourself. Because again, why are you projecting your insecurities, your lack of what you've done in your life on those around you? That's what you do. You're limiting beliefs. Your lack of discipline, you project on disciplined people around you. That's why you hate them. That's why they're schmucks. I'm poking at you. I'm poking at you. You don't even recognize it. You don't realize it. It's because they have self-discipline and you don't. And again, you define discipline for yourself. But the study of you, if we just look at discipline and what English language says is discipline, is you. You should know you better than anyone. And you know what you want to do in life, or if you haven't figured that out yet, well, there you go. That's where you get Rachel with. Maybe I'll help you figure it out. Or maybe you already know it and you've been fighting. You don't want what you want. You do want what you want. But you say to yourself, if I do it, then others are going to miss out. No, how could we miss out on you disciplining yourself? How can we miss out on you training yourself, you setting your own rules for yourself, you creating behavior that you want, and you punishing yourself for not being disciplined? See, because when you do it for self, and you implement this in your life, either others are going to want to do what you do, or they do what they do. That's fine. This is about you. So, respect, again, this is a rule, you guys, come on, a lot of good stuff. You know already, I tell you that you don't already know, I'm just putting it in a way. So, respect, feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, and achievement. Or a level of respect may be admiring someone or something deeply as a result of their abilities, qualities, or achievements. Don't admire me. I mean, you can. But this is respect. And do you do this for yourself, for you? See, you're demanding and commanding respect of the people around you. Your spouse, why don't you do this for me? Your kids, but do you do this for yourself? They disrespect. No, in many cases, you just disrespect yourself, and you're projecting your disrespect. You should admire you. I admire you. I think you're amazing and beautiful. Did I not say that from the very beginning? So why don't you admire you? You should acknowledge and celebrate your abilities, your qualities, your achievements. Again, by doing things, you'll develop this level of self-respect. Again, if this foundation doesn't change, I coach people in income and relationships, and I recognize that if the relationship with self is not dealt with first, the other ones, that's a start, stop. Most people get started and they fail, and they just won't keep going, and it's because relationship with self wasn't made the priority. Jordan Hurston, local right here, right? To Edenville, Orlando. Love makes your soul crawl out from its hiding place. Love. Ooh, wee. Anybody in love in the room? Wait. Are you in love with self or someone else? Someone in love with someone else? Oh, and you're in love with self as well, or just self?
Yeah.
To love an intense feeling of deep affection or deep affection for self, or a great interest and pleasure in something, or you just like and enjoy it very much. That's self-love. So again, I ask you, do you have an intense feeling of deep affection for yourself? Of course, you ain't gotta answer it out loud. Yeah, answer it for yourself.
That was rhetorical.
Yeah, there's a right? You take great interest and pleasure in, you're gonna take out something, it's not something right now, it's you. Do you take great interest and pleasure in you? I like to go to the beach. I like to be around, I like to salsa dance. I don't know, you come up with something else you just love. Oh, I just love that color. I love that dress. Do you love you? And why not? I don't talk to you. You loved you when you were born. You cried, you didn't care who was around. You feed me, I'm the best, I'm the greatest. That's what you were saying. When you were crying at the top of your lungs and someone had to come tend to you like handlers, like it just came and they constantly came to you. And then one day they said, I'm not coming to you no more. You're gonna cry without me. And then what happens? All of a sudden you don't feel supported anymore. You don't feel, and that child grows as you grew. Somewhere in there, your parents' projection of love or distorted projection of love upon you, and then you've gotten this sort of shaky self-projection of love, self-image, self-love. You can change that. Literally make a decision. Make a decision, be disciplined. I'm gonna respect myself. Love myself. And again, like any discipline, what do? You practice, you study, you over and over and over again. Guess who you see in the mirror in the morning? Guess whose voice? Wait. Whose voice do you hear when you speak? Rachel, stop asking me these questions out here. Do you realize how important you are? And sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. We have these moments of where we feel important, but is it all day, every day? No, if we do that, Rachel, we'll be narcissistic. Well, no, if you do in that order, I feel like in that order, discipline, respect, and love, you'll get to a level of self-mastery where when others do what they do, it doesn't affect you. It stops affecting you. You're in control of you and your universe. And once you're in control of you and your universe, the universe just, aligns with who you are and what you want. Self-mastery is what? Comprehensive knowledge or skill in a subject or an accomplishment. It's control or superiority over something or someone. Right? So, we can look at mastery. If we look at the word mastery and master through history, what has happened? There were folks who were masters and everyone else had to conform to them. They knew the secret. They knew this. They said, you owe me. They said, oh, you're not as valuable as me. I'm going to buy you. You come and I'm the master and you're going to do everything I want you to do. And they use mastery to their advantage. it just, they didn't know no better. That's all they knew at the time. Don't feel bad about it. There's no need to, it's over. Or is it? Some of you work for companies and they just enslaved you in a whole nother way. Some of you watch too much TV. You tell lie vision gives you everyone else's vision except for yours. And you watch it and you call it entertainment and you believe it, but you embody some of that you see. Cutting edge technology, virtual reality is coming. And we see it as a gaming, but Dan and his Stoic group talked about how virtual reality can now deprogram and reprogram you into a better life. Imagine some of this information taught in a virtual reality session at any age, 3, 5. Jay said that the monks, when they're training them, I think in Tibet somewhere, and they're 5 years old, the first thing they teach them is how to breathe. We teach people. It's literally something that we do universally. The very first thing we do when we enter this world. It's the very last thing we do when we live. No one teaches people how to control their breath. Well, now yoga people and wellness people, and we're all stressed now. Come on, breathe. You ready? Yeah. But now they want to teach us, right? But honestly, when you control your breath, again, it's yours. Have a discipline of controlling your breath. That's all meditation is. Controlling what's yours, you, being disciplined. And then from there, again, you could be as stoic as Dan and pick up all these things that in life, life has given us clues, right? It's everywhere. We're not always mindful of. You're a master of self. Work on your discipline of self. You know, have you figured out the ways in which you can respect yourself? You, through it all, found love for self in ways that didn't even exist. Look at your feet, man. You might love your feet. Have you looked at them lately? Find something. You can't sit here and tell me you don't love something about yourself. Build it from there. That's how most love affairs start, right? You're like, oh my God, she walked in the room and I was just, right? That's what they say. It's like you're encaptured by this woman or man the moment you saw them. I mean, since this video is going to go global, I'm going to say it to my husband, Anthony O'Neill. Some of you guys may have heard of him. He's a famous YouTuber. I'm saying he's my husband. I seen him. So, yeah, that's. Unless someone else comes along and says, I am your husband. I will give you the children you want. But until then, I'm going to, that's my vision because he's the line and I line. Anyway, I had a moment. But at those moments, you should literally have it yourself. You should. You should look in that mirror and be like, oh man, it's great. You know, or you're in the gym and it's the third time, I don't know, and you've been failing over and over. And that day you got through your workouts. What I did, you know, like seriously. You'll be gaining a mastery for self and you'll have knowledge of self and control. And with that comes the ability to manifest anything you want after that. So I came with this little, you know, acronym in case you forget. Discipline. Respect. Love is loving.
Master.
Downright lovely, man. Like whatever. She's like, whatever, Rachel. I don't know about you. Humanity is bound up in yours, so we can only be human together. Only human together. If it was just me, this presentation wouldn't be as amazing and beautiful. Like, this room is empty, it would be hard. You all, us being together. So why should I care, Rachel? I mean, if you're not convinced by now, I can't convince you that you are the most valuable product and service in the world. Watch this over and over again. But now that I'm aware, now what? You know, how does this help me in my life and business? You know, how I can take a volunteer or two. Again, if we have to, 11 times, yes. I can take a volunteer or two, or we can open the floor for questions. You know, we can do a live mini session if someone's willing to share struggle or something. this thing causes me pain all the time, and I can't seem to get over it, Rachel, you know. Anybody know, volunteer, going twice, virtual volunteers, anybody?
I'll volunteer.
Okay, quick, like 20-30 seconds, can you tell us, and then let's see if we can, we're gonna deconstruct and reconstruct.
Okay. I would say self-love.
Okay, so that's something you struggle with.
Yeah.
Do you recall how long ago or when, or just you feel like your whole life?
I feel like most of my life. And far back as I can. My honest.
No worries, give me something that you do love, tell me that, quick, what do you love? Anything?
My son.
Oh, okay, tell me about your son. How old, what's his name?
His name is Tahir, which means to be chastened and pure.
Oh,
Um,
how old is he?
He's 7 years old.
Oh, that age.
Yeah.
Stop. Breathe. 7.
And add to that ADHD and neurodiverse.
Wow. But it's like the moment you laid eyes on the phone. Did you love him from that day or what?
Oh, yeah,
Or while he was in your belly, maybe?
that was my miracle.
So it's like, so she had love within inside of her. I mean, do we not love our children? Anybody here know? Anybody? The next person, if you don't love your kids, it'll be all wrong. But we all, we love our kids, like regardless of what they do. But that love came from within for you. For the men, it came from within you as well. I mean, we don't have to talk about how, biology works in creating humans. We know that, but someone told me I carried that baby for 7, 8, 9 months, whatever. Well, understand, dude, you carried it your whole life. Like, if you're 35 and you had your first child, he was in you, she was in you for 35 years, 9 months. What is that? Actually, with you longer. Your love should be stronger, but maybe you battle with it because you don't like her or you. But something about those children, right? Or pets or. And then it's like, his ears are like mine, look at his nose. Or when he starts laughing, oh my God, he's laughing. You're loving, that's a way that you can develop some self-love. You think about the top 2 or 3 things you love in your life, and that's why I love that so much. It probably ties back to you somehow, some way. Maybe that from your childhood or something that, man, I love, I don't know, camping, because when younger you can remember you were taking camping or your time at Fort Union, which is so crazy because my 16-year-old went to Fort Union, and we'll have to talk about that.
What?
Yeah, man, you mentioned it today. Anywho, anybody else? Maybe one more? Oh, do we have time for one more? We'll move on. You just paid me. You did it for me. So, Maya Angelou says, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Oh, you got one.
No, I have a comment. Rachel, this is amazing. We don't normally let people go more than 6 minutes, but this was absolutely riveting. Do you have an agent? You should be thinking in terms of, I want to offer this to America's corporation. I mean, I think every corporation out
Don't be falling
Wait,
into
wait,
the.
I got a question. Why are we offering it to the corporation? Why?
because they need stuff like this.
No, the individual needs it. You need it.
The
I don't know
point
about the
is,
corporation.
they all have individuals.
Oh,
They work with
the universe includes corporations.
If the people love themselves, they're gonna be better employees.
True.
That's the way to help them and make life. You didn't come here with any kind of an object as, this is my company, this is what I do. That's the whole point behind this. If you can tell this to people in corporations, they're gonna operate a hell of a lot better. So they're gonna want this.
If they adopt it.
If they do.
Yeah.
So
But they gotta know it
But
before they can adopt.
you're pretty convincing when you're talking to these people. If I feel better about myself, I'm gonna do a better job.
That's my goal.
And companies are gonna understand that, and that's what you need to do. So get yourself a good agent,
An
take
agent.
stuff like,
Anybody know an agent?
well, they're out there, you
They're
can
out
find
there.
them. The point is, you've got this that you can show them, and others I'm sure you've got, this is amazing.
I appreciate it, thank you. That was my
You should
intention.
be making money
I
from this.
I am making money, where's my card? Yes, yes.
And I'm gonna rip off of that, and, you know, I will say, your presentation and what you're doing was fantastic. Your delivery is superb.
Didn't meant to be.
Your vocal inflection, all of that is great. However,
Yes,
I'm going to bring this into the context of 1 million cups. And what we do here and what we are for here, because we've got some new people here, and I want to make sure that they understand that what 1 million cups is and what 1 million cups does and is about. The reason that we have a time limit on things is because you're not doing your program for us. We appreciate it, but that's not what we're for. And so if, as far as offering your coaching services, offering your mentoring services, what I might suggest, because you, beyond the corporate idea, which Denny's right, but I have seen many coaches who will go into a luncheon at a Rotary or you know, BI or you know, Chambers or whatever, and they have a set amount of time to do things, and at the end of it, there's a pitch.
Gotcha.
And that's what 1 million cups is about,
True.
is it is about the pitch.
That's
And
good.
so, you know,
So when we get a picture now? Or are we out of time? Tell us.
well, what
Oh, okay.
but
No, we're out of
the
time.
idea is, if you're doing this for a group where you want to get customers, where you want to get clients out of that group. And again, maybe this isn't the message that you want to hear right now, but I'm
I
doing this for the benefit of other people who are in the room. And, you know, if there's other coaches out there that are working on their thing. If you come into a situation like this, or a situation where you're not necessarily doing your program, but you're pitching people to hire you to make them better, because that's how you make money.
Yeah, but
We're a group of entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And so I'm speaking to you in a very, very entrepreneurial fashion, and I want, so the goal of the presentation,
should have there.
the goal of the audience that you're presenting to, make sure that you know what that is before you go into it, and tailor your presentation. Again, your program obviously is fantastic. That's not what I'm talking about.
Can I just
I appreciate the
interject?
feedback.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I actually kind of disagree a little bit, because I feel like what she does is so unique. If she pitched it, no, just hear me out.
Okay,
Her showing us what she does was essentially a pitch, because she tried to sell what she does, you couldn't understand it. But from this personal experience, if you felt like, oh, I got something out of this, but I need more, then you go and hire her. But a pitch of what she does and telling you, I will be able to make you see self-love or what it is, explaining that without demoing it, I don't know if I would have gotten.
and you know, in the interest of time though, I would, but again, in keeping things in context of where we are and what we do here, I'm going, my volleyball back to you, and back to you, Rachel, is I got that in the first 3 minutes of what you were doing. Okay?
Josh will be very
Now-
proud, right?
Now, but in doing that, after those first 3 minutes, then the segue of, okay, here's what I do, here's a glimpse of what I do, and now here's how you get me do it for you.
All right. Do you want that? You ready for that part, or let's get some more comments? I don't want to hear this first. Go ahead.
So just to echo Scott,
Yeah.
couple of rapid fire questions. Do you have a book?
I don't think I'm gonna write a
Do you
book.
offer training?
I do offer training.
Do you speak at events?
Yes, I speak at events.
Are you a private coach?
Yes, I'm a private.
Are you a group coach?
Yes, this is group training right here, this video. So I'm doing a 21 manifestation challenge right now. There are 10 scholarship slots for those who are challenged in your currency. You lack currency. If you've got plenty of currency, you've got some paid options, and you can have a donation option. Rachel, you're asking for too little. I want to give you more.
So
Yeah.
just to continue, those are all revenue streams, and we did not know, to the context of Scott's question, we don't know how to hire you, work with you. All we just got the information about a particular subject, which
Yes.
is lovely. From a business perspective, we don't really. do
My business is you.
You spent 2 seconds saying I'm a financial relationships coach. That's the most I heard about your business.
You said who, financial,
You said financial relationship coach.
income and
Yeah.
relationship.
Okay.
In,
Income, sorry. Income.
Let me,
wait, you can next and then Rupert, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I wanna piggyback to what she said and disagree a little bit. Because for me, I felt like throughout the presentation, you are actually teaching to me. And the first thing that came to mind is what Danny said. If I had a company, I would want you to come and speak to it, right? To that subject, because I know you impacting those people, it's going to add value.
Yeah.
And then, just to add one more thing, you don't have to necessarily be talking to a crowd when it comes to corporate. Like the company I work for, they pay for therapists. So you get that session, they pay for it. So,
That's nice, as long as the check clears, that's fine, go ahead.
so if I may.
Yes.
Let me put
Yes.
all of this in.
Yes.
Okay. So, the first point is, we believe in you, and we believe that what you're presenting
Yeah.
is valuable, right? We also believe that one thing that you can do to improve this presentation, especially for the 1 Million Cups community, is, you know, what you do for, how's that benefit us? So we're entrepreneurs, okay? Most entrepreneurs don't have quote companies and employees and things like that. There's so many, you know, sole proprietors and just and so forth. And so I think it would help your presentation. Not that it needs much help. I think it would help. I believe it would help the presentation if you couched it in a way of an entrepreneur and how self-discipline, self-love, self-mastery, right? And that helps us as individuals provide our services to the world and provide them better, right? And then that, by example, shows other people how they can be better entrepreneurs as well.
Amazing. Join the group today. I think we're out of time, and I don't want to.
We do have one more question,
The time.
and that is, what can we as a community do?
Oh, again, I'm pursuing a PhD. I have to write 10,000 words in order to get a PhD or an SCD in this area. We're writing science, science here. So this is, well, it resonated with you, and it's at your core. Really, I do it more for the academic pursuit of it. My children will be moving forward. So currency will come, already currency. You all. So I'm not necessarily worried about the money. However, those of you who want to hire me, I'm $1 million. $1 million. You can't afford it right now. No worries, you'll have it soon because you're entrepreneurs, right? But as you can see on the back of my card, it's $12.50, and that's where I like to start. But again, if you go to where I had on the board there, it's on Eventbrite. There's some scholarship options. There's a couple of paid options. There's some donation options, and we'll be coaching. I'll be mentoring you for 15 minutes and talking about those things. And we go into September 24th, and that's just one of the ways that I give back of my currency, my knowledge, and you know, it's bigger than me, and it's bigger than you in the room. Unfortunately, it's the universe. The universe has to be affected by it. So there are already great content creators. I'm just going to tag along with them. You know, Rachel Rogers, who We Should All Be Millionaires. She's part of the catalyst for who you see today. When I came across her back in October, The School of Greatness by Lois Howes. I tell folks, watch one episode a day. They're going to be anywhere from an hour to 3 hours. But you'll be different by the end of that episode. You'll grow. You'll be better. You know, and that's it. It's all free resources in many cases. But if you just insist and you can't do it yourself, I take all forms of payment. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yay.
Did we address any of the online comments?
Yes. Some came in. So anyway, this was a different kind of day for us. Usually we do 1 or 2 6-minute presentations with 20 minutes of questions, but occasionally we have educational sessions where a speaker gets to do 15 minutes. And I think I was the last one to do that in 2019. So,
I've done it. So,
but yours was like a 6-minute still, wasn't it?
no, I took longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm bad at keeping time. It very well probably was longer. I just didn't know. But anyway, as I was listening to Rachel, I thought, well, we don't need to call time because we don't have another speaker and this sounds really good and we'll make this an educational session. But as she kept going, I thought, this is important. I think we need to hear this. So we made it an ultra educational session. So you, I think, win our award for longest presentation. I'm glad you did it. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Eric. I
So
appreciate
I hope
it.
everybody got something out of that. Next week, we're going to be hearing from Stephen Marks of Meghnot, and we're going to be hearing from our own Peter Korea of Salai Coffee. I assume you're talking about coffee next week. Just a guess. But otherwise, if you're online, download the chat. If you want to copy the chat, email me at eric.deckers@gmail.com. It wasn't a big chat, again, unless I missed something after I got up, but it was just kind of people just chattering. Join us on meetup.com if you're not there already. You already found us on Meetup, so make sure you join the group. That's where we do most of our email notifications, but we also have a Facebook page. And then finally, connect with somebody that you met today. Invite them out for coffee, invite them for lunch, have a phone call, have a Zoom call, do something. But connect and build that relationship so we can continue to grow this network of connected entrepreneurs. We're there to be resources and guides for each other. And with that, I will say thank you very much, and we will see you on the next time.